Hello everybody, today I'm just going over triads in root position and how to do harmonic analysis with them. So you can refer to the harmonic analysis and root position reference sheet that I created as well to accompany this video, which may be helpful. So I'm going to just start out by writing out, I'm going to pick a key. I'm going to choose F major because that's what I used in the reference sheet so that you can follow along. We know that the key of F major just has one flat. So in order to get, what is a harmonic analysis? Essentially, a harmonic analysis is figuring out how each triad or chord fits into the key. So our given key here is F major, right? So we can have a multitude of triads in the key of F major. So you have an F, a G, A, B flat, C, D, E, right? Those are our 7 notes out of the F major scale. So I draw this out so that you are able to see what each triad in the key of F major looks like. We know that we are going to stack thirds on top of each other, so if your note starts on a space, the preceding 2 or 3 notes on top will be in a space, whereas if it starts on a line, it will end up on the line for the next few notes. So we have an F, A, and C, a G, B flat, and D, an A, C, and E, a B flat, D, and F. I'm going to just write in the B flat so that we can see it. C, E, and G, D, F, and A, and then E, G, and B, right? So this is what I can see. And if we look at these triads, we can identify their quality as major, minor, or diminished, depending on what scale degree we're on. So if we look here, we have, on the first one, you have a major third, right? And then you have a minor third stacked on top of it, which means that this is a major triad. Because this triad is built on the first scale degree in the key of F major, and it is a major triad, I'm going to use a capital 1. The Roman numeral, like the number of the Roman numeral, corresponds with what scale degree you are building your triad on. Major qualities will always be capitalized, while minor and diminished will always be lowercase. Augmented triads are also capitalized, and they have the plus sign next to it, but it is very rare for you in what we're doing in this class for you to find an augmented triad. So if we're looking at our next one, we have a G and a B flat, which is a minor third, and a B flat to a D, which is a major third, right? So if we look at that, we know that that is a minor triad. Boom. I'm going to write a minor 2 because our second scale degree is the root of this triad, which is G. So if you look, you have an F, G. G is the second note, and is the root of this triad. Therefore, it is a minor 2 chord or triad, whatever. So you have the next one, A to C and C to E, which is a major third, a minor third and a major third. So minor third, major third, and you got a minor 3, right? Because we're building on the F, G, A, the third scale degree in F major, and you have a minor third with a major third. Cool. Next one is B flat, D, and F. And if we look at that, that looks like a major triad. You got your major third between B flat and D, and then between D and F, you have a minor third. So that's 4. If you look at our next one, we have a C to an E, which is a major third, and E to a G, which is a minor third, giving us a capitalized major 5. A, B flat, C, D, E. Okay. And looking at the next one, we have a D to an F, minor third. And then we have an F to an A, which is a major third. We know that that's a minor triad. And then we have an E to a G, which is a minor third. And then we have a major third over here. All right, wonderful. Oh, sorry, that's not a major third. That's a minor third. So that's diminished. Okay. When you're looking at these Roman numerals, the Roman numeral number corresponds or is associated with the scale degree of the root in the given key. So we know that if there's a root and it's a D in the key of F, so essentially we're contextualizing all of these triads, these 7 triads, we're condensing them into the key, or connecting them to the key of F major. So you have a D, right? So a D is a 6th scale degree. You know it has to be some sort of a 6 chord, which is why this exam is so easy. Because you could just look at the root, your bottom note, your bass voice in the voicing, and be able to see what Roman numeral you should be writing. And in a major key, this is what you're going over. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And for every major key that you're in, the quality of each triad will always be the same. A triad built on the 3rd scale degree of A will always be minor in a major key. F, B flat, and C, the 1st, 4th, and 5th scale degrees will always be major. The 2nd, 3rd, and 6th scale degrees will always be minor. The 7th scale degree will always be diminished. For a diminished triad, please make sure that you write the circle to show that it is diminished. Just writing a lowercase 7 will not count. So the Roman numeral corresponds with the scale degree, and the, I don't know how to write it, but like the uppercase versus lowercase, for those Roman numerals determines the quality, or identifies it, rather. Okay. So this is just like kind of like a contextualization so that you can see it. Let's go back a page and let's look at 9B. I would like to start at this A major section, or A flat major section. So if we're looking here, you have an F in the bass, right? So essentially what's written here is an open position. Why? You have 4 voices across 2 staves. You have two voices in the bass clef staff, 2 in the treble clef staff. So I'm going to move this open voicing to a closed voicing, which is essentially just condensing the notes so that I can see them in a more closed fashion, so that I can maybe like identify, a little bit faster, because this will come in help when you have a note that's in the bass, so the lowest voice. A note that's in the bass, which is your lowest voice, but it may not be the root of the chord. Anyways, so you have an F, a C, an A, and a C. So you have F, A, and C, right? And if we think about the key of A flat, you have A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G, and A flat, right? Those are my notes in the key. And I clearly have an F minor triad. Between F and A flat is a minor third. Between A flat and C is a major third. I need to make sure that my accidentals transfer along, or else I get the wrong quality. We could do this one of 2 ways. Looking at the quality and then saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it has to be a minor 6, right? That makes sense. Just counting up from the key of A flat, where does an F fall into that? Your root. Or you could look at your quality too, to help make that Roman numeral more true for you. So if we look at the next one, we have a B flat, right? And I don't even need to look. I just have a B flat, right? A D, an F, and an A. Okay, so here is where things get a little bit spicy, so to speak. Right, you have a B flat, a D flat, an F, and an A flat. So if we're looking at this, I want to identify this as just the triad. So you have B flat to D flat, which is a minor third, and then B flat to D is your major third, and then you have a 7th added on top. there is a difference between your first measure here that only has just a triad versus this has a seventh added on top. You have 4 notes here, right? 4 notes. Whereas over here, you have 3 notes. You need to make sure that you're identifying this in your Roman numeral analysis. So the only difference in what you'll notate is you still have a minor triad, right? So you're going to write that, and you know that B flat is the second scale degree in A flat major, so you'll write a 2 chord. But what differentiates this from being B flat D F to B flat D flat F to B flat D flat F A flat is adding a 7 next to it. So if you just add that 7 when you have 4 notes written in your condensed version versus 3, you're set. Let's look at the next one. You have an E flat as your root. You have a D. You have a B flat and a G. So I'm going to do E, G, B, D. And notice how I'm organizing these. I'm organizing it so that it looks like a triad that I've seen before. I'm just stacking up the notes into thirds. You don't want to have like your D down over here and A over here. No, that's like really confusing. That makes it harder. So you're condensing these into what you see like in a triad normally, or a 7th chord. Okay, so we have an E flat here, and we have a G, B flat, and D flat. So if we're looking here, you have E flat to G, which is a major third, and G to B flat, which is a minor third. And if we're looking, we have a 7th here, so we need to make sure that we add a 7th. And if you look, you have an E flat, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 5th, and 7. And I'll do one more with you. So you have D flat, you have 2 D flats, you have an F, and you have an A flat. D flat, F, A flat, that is a major triad. You have a major third with a minor third. And if we look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the 4th scale degree. Do we need to add a 7? Well, let's look. We have 1 D here. We have a repeated D over here. You have an F and an A up here. So you only have 3 notes that you condense, so there's no need to add a 7th. I hope that this video helps. It's the same way to complete exercise 9C as well. So enjoy, and please email me with any questions. Thank you.